Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that already know me, hello and welcome back. And for those of you that don't, my name is Laura. I am a makeup artist, but I also am a fashion blogger too, which is why you will see my other videos are about fashion. But I do get so many questions still about makeup and particularly about my everyday makeup routine, and that is what I've done for you here, but just a slightly more glammed up version. Obviously feel free to take anything you want from this, and of course you can keep it more natural. So if I've put 3 eyeshadow colours on, you can always just use 2 just to give it a more natural look, or miss out the eyeliner, anything like that. Feel free to ask me any questions afterwards. I would love to help you and hear from you, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to be prepping my skin with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. If you haven't used this before, it's really, really lovely. It smells absolutely divine and just feels really, really hydrating and just lovely on the skin, to be honest. And it's something I like to use on clients as well before adding any foundation. You should always take care of your skin. I won't go into skin too much in this tutorial, but this is what I use. Okay, so now my skin is prepped. I'm going to be starting with foundation, even though when I do makeup on my clients, I always start with eyes first. The reason is, if someone's having quite a smoky eye or a heavy smoky eye, you do get fallout from the eyeshadow. But on myself, for some reason, I just always do foundation first, and I think most people say the same thing. So I'm going to be using Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is in the shade Wheat. I also love the NARS Radiant Long Wear Foundation, so I do tend to go between the 2 of these. These are my 2 favourite foundations currently. I'm going to be using Double Wear just because this is what I've been using a bit more of at the moment. But again, I love them both equally. I find the NARS one is, what's the word? It's not quite as full coverage. It is still medium to full coverage, the NARS one, but it's not as full coverage as Double Wear. And I just think Double Wear is one of those foundations that doesn't really move or budge throughout the day. So this is the shade Wheat, and I just use a brush like this. So this is a Peaches and Cream brush. It's brilliant, this foundation brush. Ever since I got it, I've never used anything else. And I always start on the cheeks. And the reason you do this is because you don't want to be starting down here and you've got loads on the jawline. You want to start at the cheek area and then just lightly sort of buff into the skin, trying to make it look as natural as possible. And then when you've got a little bit left on the brush, you can just go down to the chin area. So you always want to start with less and then you can build up, rather than putting tons of foundation on and then you've got to blend it all around your face as well. So this does actually look quite a pale shade on camera, but it's not in real life. It's quite dark in real life, but on camera it does look more pale. I'm now going to be using Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I try not to use too much concealer on myself, just because I find if I use too much, it just creases more under the eye. So just to give a more sort of like natural effect, I just do a little dot there and then I just dot round. This Tarte Shape Tape Concealer is in the shade Light Medium. It's my favourite concealer in the world. I've tried so many concealers, and as much as I do like some other ones, I think they're good, this is my absolute favourite and nothing has ever beat it. So yeah, so this is what I always use, and I have about 20 to 30 of them that I use on clients as well. Light Medium is a really good shade for a lot of skin tones, I think. And I can sort of wear Light Medium in the winter and in the summer. Sometimes I do go a bit darker with the shades as well though. I'm literally just blending this in with a beauty blender. This one is from Blend Beauty Cosmetics, this beauty blender, and it's such a good one because it's really soft and I just find it just really blends easily. And yeah, it's one of my favourites. So I will be linking everything I'm using below, and I'll link this beauty blender as well because I've tried a lot of beauty blenders and this is definitely one of my favourites. So I'm now going to be using some setting powder, and I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish in the shade 2. I absolutely love this setting powder. It's not sort of like loose powder, it's in a compact obviously, and I just find it so good for just blurring and sort of like keeping foundation on. But I find it really like brightening for the under eye, and yeah, whenever I wear powder, I feel like you have to set your foundation with powder no matter what, otherwise it just doesn't last. So I find double wear, and then with any translucent powder or like a good one, this one in particular, it really will just stay on for the entire day. And I do, you can just put it in your T-zone area, but I do just like to sort of like dust it all around my face. Okay, so for brows, I'm going to be using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I've used this brow pencil for years, and I use it on clients as well. I also love the Morphe brow pencils. They're really similar to these. And I really like the Anastasia Beverly Hills ones, but I've just run out and I need to buy a new one. This is definitely better value for money though, whereas the Anastasia Beverly Hills one is that bit more money. So I'll be using this one today, and this is in the shade Brunette. Okay, so for eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the By Mario palette. I was so excited when this palette came out because I always wear matte eyeshadows day to day and on nights out. I don't really wear sparkly eye that much on myself. And they just have the most gorgeous matte shades in this palette. It's literally like my dream palette. Just the most gorgeous sort of like tans and new, like, and all different like shade browns. And just really lovely nude colours. Oh, why can't I talk? Sorry. But yeah, they are just so nice. So I'm going to be going in with these two shades here to start with. And I literally use like quite a big fluffy brush. And I just use these two shades. And this is what we call our transitional shades. And then what I do is I literally just put this in the crease of my eye. And I just go in circular motions back and forth. Keep it in the middle, and then when I've got hardly anything on the brush, I'm just going to take it up that bit higher and just make sure it's all really nice and blended. So now I've done that on both sides, I'm going to be using another shade and a slightly thinner brush. It's still quite big and fluffy. These are by Dull Beauty, by the way. This is the brush DB6, and I'm going to be using this shade and maybe this shade, these darker shades. And again, I'm going to be keeping it in the crease, but I'm not going to be going any further up my eye. So I'm just going to be keeping this in the crease. I'm not going to be going towards the brow with this shade. And I'm just going to be doing the same, just like the circular motions. Just keeping it more tight in this, in the bottom part of my eye and on the actual lid. Obviously, I'm going to be doing this both sides. If you feel like you do need to blend a bit more, just get the first brush again, I'll show you. And just go back with that lighter shade and just go over what you've just done, and that just helps to blend it out a bit more. And you can just keep doing this as many times as you need. I actually decided to also use this shade at the end. And I've just taken this on the same brush, the same first brush, and I'm just putting this again in the crease. This is kind of in between the darker shade that I've just put on the lid and those first two shades. So it's just kind of breaking them up a little bit. And again, just helping just to blend. So this would obviously be the more like glam eye that I would do. In the day, I would definitely maybe just use those first two colours and maybe a slightly darker one, but I would keep it a bit more toned down. Whereas slightly more glam, obviously, you can go for darker shades. And then I'm using this brush by Dull Beauty, which is kind of like a flat shading brush. This is DB8, And I'm gonna be putting the first 2 shades, first of all, on this brush and just go underneath my eye. Really funny because when I do makeup on other people, obviously I have like all clean brushes and I have sort of like set brushes I use. And you know, I probably wouldn't do this if I'm doing someone else's makeup, which is really funny, but on myself, I'm just a lot more slapdash. Yeah, I'm a lot less precise, and I worry a lot less with like what brushes I'm using, and if I'm using the same one for a few different like tasks, like it doesn't matter when I'm doing it on myself. I'm not as much I'm not a perfectionist as much when I'm doing my own makeup compared to when I'm doing other people's. I always like to use eyeshadow under my eye just to make it look more balanced and not just like really top heavy with loads of makeup on the top. But I know from, you know, doing clients' makeup, not everyone actually likes this. So if you don't like this part, just skip this part out. And now I've just used those darker shades. Again, I'm not like taking my time with it. I'm just literally tapping the brush into it and then just swiping slightly underneath my eyelashes. Try to get as close to your eyelashes as you can. But if you can see now, it's just kind of so much more balanced, my eye. And that's the eyeshadow. I don't spend too long on it, really. Now for eyeliner, I like gel liner, but I'm gonna be using, just because it's the daytime, I'm gonna be using this by MAC. It's called Photogravure Technical Liner. I actually got this at the airport. I don't know if they do this online, but I'll try and find it and I will link it below if they do, because I really like this one. If not, an alternative that I also use all the time and love is Coffee. So this is a brown eyeliner, and obviously I'm just gonna literally do a line on my top. It's really easy to use. That's that. And then I'm also gonna line my waterline with this too. So I don't always do this in the day, but definitely at night I would just add the eyeliner. So if you've got really small eyes, you might want to skip this part out, because obviously having a darker colour in your waterline does make the eyes look a little, it closes them up more. But my eyes aren't that small, so I do really like it. I mean, you can do it even if you do have small eyes, it's completely your choice, of course. And it does just give more of like a smoky look, I think. Okay, so for mascara, I'm going to be using this L'Oreal one. So it's not expensive, it's a really reasonable price. Really good value for money. And I can't remember how much it is, but again, I'll link it below. And I do have a Look Fantastic code. So anything that's from Look Fantastic, I'll put in a separate sort of list. You can use my code, you get 20% off, so it really makes a difference. I really struggle to buy makeup now in store, just because I know I can get 20% off online majority of the time. So I'm gonna be using this mascara, it's black, and I do like to give my eyelashes quite a few coats. I do get asked sometimes if I use eyelash serum or anything to help my eyelashes because they are quite long. I do, I really love the Hair Burst serum, which I will list in the links. It's so good. It just really strengthens and lengthens your eyelashes, and I did notice a big difference when I used it. I used it every single night I use it every night, or majority of nights. Obviously there's a few nights that I'll forget, but I just keep it sort of like near where I brush my teeth so I remember to use it. And I have noticed my eyelashes are in the best condition they've ever been in. I'm just gonna get a bit closer to the camera just so you can see the length of them. But I will list this below, it's by Hair Burst. Now it's my favourite part as I'm putting on some highlighter and bronzer. I just feel like when you add bronzer, it just makes you come to life and just give a real warmth to your face. So I'm going to be using the Hourglass Luminous Light highlighting powder, which is an absolute dream. Ever since I first used this, I just am obsessed. I absolutely love it. It's quite subtle, so you can just wear this by itself. And you can also dust it all over your face as well, just to give a really luminous sort of like appear to your skin. But if you use it as a highlighter, it is absolutely stunning. It just gives the most soft, subtle glow to the skin, and I just love it. I've used it for years now, and I've yet to find one that is as gorgeous as this one. I also love, so I do add this one on the top as well, just because I'm going to have a bit more highlight today. This one is just absolutely stunning as well. I feel like it suits nearly every single skin type and skin tone. It is gorgeous. It is MAC Soft and Gentle. Again, I've used this one for years. I use it on nearly all my clients just because it suits everybody, and it's just a stunning highlight. So when they're both added together, obviously you just get a bit more of that highlighted cheekbone. But I do love these two together, and I just think it makes you look like you've got really beautiful, glowy skin. Now I'm going to be putting on some contour. I'm going to be using Hoola bronzer today, which is just the original. I use quite a few different ones, but some of the ones I know that I love are sold out, so I'm not going to be able to link those. So I just thought I'd use an original that never, you can't go wrong with, which is Hoola, and I do love this. So this is more of a cool tone. They also do Hoola Caramel, but I find I use that more as a bronzer than a contour. So with contour, it's usually more cool toned, and bronzers I like to use more warm. So this one is definitely a cool tone. So I put it on just underneath that highlight, and then I also place it on the top of my head. And you want to just put this obviously where you catch the sun, because that's the whole point. It's just to make you look like you've got a healthy, warm, tanned complexion. Now I'm going to be going in with a bronzer. I'm going to be using the Morphe Glamour Bronze Megastar bronzer. This has lasted me for so long. It's such a good price, and it's just my favourite bronzer that I still use all the time. So I'm just going to be sort of like pressing the bronzer into rather than swiping it. I just find pressing it, you get it just looks a bit more natural, and you don't get those big like obvious marks. Kind of just press that into the cheeks, and then again top of the forehead. Now for blush, I'm going to be using the Haze blush. So I actually got this in a Look Fantastic box, so I'm not sure I ever would have picked it up had I not have received it in the box. But it's so lovely. Absolutely love it. It looks bright pink. I don't know if you can see it properly on camera, but it is so nice on the cheeks. It doesn't come out as bright as that actually looks. So I will show you now. So that is the blusher on. I just think it looks really lovely, like really pretty blusher. It's kind of like a corally shade, but it looks really pink on there. But I just think it looks lovely. I just love that blush. It reminds me of another one, a Laura Mercier one that I had, and I just loved. But obviously it's a lot more cost friendly, and yeah, I really recommend this. I'm really interested to try the other shades as well, because I know there's other shades in these little blushes and they're great. So I'm going to be using my favourite lip combo at the moment. I wear it every single day. I am a creature of habit, so I do tend to stick to the same products, especially when I know I just love them. I have tried so many different Charlotte Tilbury lip shades, but I am just obsessed with Dance Floor Princess. It's just literally my ideal colour for me. And I also am obsessed with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Original Lip Liner. They go beautifully together. I'll show you, so that's the lip liner, and then I'll use the lipstick. I am just obsessed with that shade. I would call it nude, but it's slightly more on the pinky side, but not really pink. So if that makes any sense to you, that's the shade. Just like a really beautiful light nudie pink. So that is everything, but what I also like to do is just dust my face at the end with this gorgeous powder, and it's the Luminous powder, and it's by Iconic. It's huge, so it will last me forever. and it's like that. It's so pretty. You can even, you know, if you have a small brush like my highlighter brush, again I will link any brushes that I can, you can even like just pick certain colors out of that and use it as highlighter as well. It's gorgeous. It's so nice, especially for summer when you've got a tan, even just to dust like all over your chest and stuff like that. I just love this. So I'm going to be finishing off with dusting this on my face. I'm using a really big brush as well, just to put all over. And then I'm going to be using some setting powder at the end, and this is the Iconic Prep Set and Glow. Again, because I've gone for quite a glowy skin, I think this is perfect. And hang on, let me just check this is not going to squirt all in my face. Perfect. It smells lovely and it's so refreshing. And that is it. That is my everyday makeup, but slightly more glam. I really hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope you picked up any tips. Feel free to ask me any questions. I'm more than happy to help you. I will list, like I say, every single item that I've used today. I will list it all for you and link it. But if there's anything I haven't linked and you want to know how to get it or where I got it from, because I know some of the brushes might be like a little bit old, yeah, just ask me. Feel free to leave a message in the comments and I will get back to you, I promise. But I really hope you enjoyed it and I hope it helped. If it did, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Really helps. Obviously I am quite new to YouTube, so any little bit of support will be amazing and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much and I hope to see you soon.